it does not reflect my character. I want yung ano yung sabihin ko, yung akin, whether it is really pleasant or not, that would be your problem, not mine. You know, I ran for the presidency because I wanted to be of some purpose in my life at the end game sa buhay ko. And the reason why I also decided to run was simply because in the horizon, most of the candidates, maybe pati ako, may malaking pagkukulang, and it has something to do about the very important things that the Republic should be able to solve, or at least to minimize. Walang kandidato kasi nagsasalita about Mindanao. And if you would ask all the military guys here, including the officials, nandito si Governor Piñol, if we do not try even to solve the Mindanao issue, it will be the biggest problem of our land and of our children. You know, what you see now, as you might have seen before, but never realize it, was that itong sa Mindanao was a result of a rising nationalism, a Moro coming to terms with his existence in the land. As I have said repeatedly, almost to the redundancy, that long before Magellan set foot in the lima asawang islands, bilib ako sa buang, 5 ang asawa. Kaya tayo, cannot blame us. Mga minuno natin nagturo. Well, Islam was already thriving in Mindanao, or at least they say that 100 years. I do not believe it. Siguro mga 70. Ako, kasi nung congressman ako, we were touring on congressional repository of the exchanges. Punta ko ng archives. So, about 70. So, nung dumating si Magellan, talagang away. Because may poste na sila doon. And the post was Islam. And dragged on for so many years. And the Americans came, this time with more brutality because of the advent of the new firepower. Cannons, the repeating rifles and everything. So more lethal, more effective, more deaths. Kaya yan ang hindi na nakuha ng taong bayan. Na hindi ito basta na lang mabigyan ng solusyon. Because aside from the fact that everybody there living in Mindanao is interested or are interested to have peace, meron yung record of massacres and everything. And these are not easily forgotten. We, most of the Christians, we always refer to the massacres sa Balilinga, yung Bell doon. Sila maraming massacres in the ensuing years of subjugation. To the point of talagang masakit sa kanila. And this has to be healed. The problem is, be aware that, things might overrun or events might overrun us. Ang problema dito, ganito. Well, yung rising nationalism in some parts of the country for some people, wala na yan. Wala na. It has been overtaken by this ideology of violence and brutality, ISIS. For you who are the Moro here, remember that I intend no bigotry or no lula ko maranaw. So, yan ang nangyari. Ang ano nito ngayon is, ang problema nandiyan na ang ISIS, and we have been debating for so long, but we are now one over the opinion in the cabinet that the ISIS ideology is here to stay. They have, some of them, they are competing for recognition. So baka ba ng Lions chapter officially recognized? They are outdoing each other in brutality. The more brutal you are in raising the ideology, the more credentials that you may have for a recognition. So ganun ang nangyari. So we have this problem now of terrorism. Now, it would be nice to ask, bakit malakas ang Cebu sa Mindanao? Kasi ito sila, they are driving the war using Cebu as a fuel. Pati sila mismo. And sa Middle East, it is bruited and recognized na talagang magsasyabu. Kaya dalawa ang problema sa Mindanao. Shabu is being cooked. And the last time, yung mayor, yung vice mayor, actually yung vice mayor na namatay, yung magkapatid, pulis ng Manila yun. They learned the trade here and eventually went back to Mindanao to start their own industry sa Cebu. Yun ang nangyari niyan. Yung iba driven by pera, yung iba naman sumasakay. And they are throwing Cebu whatever the price. One is really to just lull the mind of the person, complacency or whatever, at nandyan yung Cebu. Yan ang pinaka-delikado. That is the problem that we are facing now. Terrorism, kaya may shutdown. I do not blame the military. If I were you might as well, if you are handling an office, Solicitor General, mag-ano ka na lang ng two-way. At least kung may network ka, may base ka, you might be able to communicate with your whatever office you're handling. Kasi one of the things really that you should do is to control the transmission of electronic signals. Kaya it's not really my idea. I was just advised that there will be a shutdown. So yan ang problema ngayon. Shabu must end because patay tayo for as long as there is Shabu, the addiction will continue and it will bring us down to the dogs. Ayaw lang maniwala ng iba, but it's a very, 4 million is 4 million. And that is the original number of General Santiago ng PDEA noon, gave you 3. Ito na yung incremental increase. That was about 3-4 years ago. So, it might really be easy just to guess that another 1 million has been added over the years. And 4 million is 4 million. And you know what? The one thing I hate sa Cebu, at talagang galit ako, is because they enslave our countrymen. Slavery yan eh. And they are slaves sa droga through packets of these mga idioto. Kaya kung sabihin mo patayan, ay anak lang, wag na tayo magbulhan for as long as I'm president. Itong malalaging Cebu dealers, mamamatay talaga to. And the next batch would really be, tatawagin ko yung mga mayors, ilak ko, no, kami-kami lang. Sabihin ko talaga sa kanila. Ayun, ganong kakapal yung pinakita ko sa inyo eh. Hanapin mo yung pangalan mo dyan, Mayor. Tangina, pag nandyan yung pangalan mo, may problema pa. Talagang papatayin kita. Either you resign or make a clean breast of everything, come up with the clone nose and we'll talk. Pero kung sabihin mo, I will allow, I might go down the history as the butcher. Eh, bahala kayo. I will not allow my country to, not during my time. At yung sabi mo, panahon ni Duterte maraming patay. Oh yeah, but no. That's why I said when I came over, I asked my security, sabi ko, bakit nga ang meaning ng purpose? So, why are we here? So we have a purpose. What? To serve government, to serve the people. What else is there to talk about here? Except service to the people, and truly one. No, yung tao naman, hindi na change. So we are being paid, we feed our families with the salary we get. Yun ang gusto kong i-ano sa inyo, but not the way I would be presenting to the mayors, because dito medyo brutal ng konti. Talagang sabi ko, wag ninyo akong lukuhin. Kaya sabi ko, the first thing that I would do is to deprive you of the supervisory powers over the police. Second is I will tanggalin ko lahat ng security mo. Because kung ang syudad nila, there is a thriving shabu business there. You need to say that you are not working as a mayor. Ay, hindi ko na lang inaanong sarili ko, but look at Davao. Ayoko lang I do not want to pull my own chair, but look at Davao. Most of you have been there. May nakakaproblema ba kayo dyan sa mga druga-druga na? Hindi ako pumayag eh. Pagka pumayag ang mayor, pumayag ang chief of police, patay na ang tao. Yan talaga. Provincial commander, chief of police, ayan. Station commander. Pag yan ang nagkonsabo, kagaya sa nangyari, and we did not know for the life of me that we were already in narco-politics 2 elections ago. Kita mong yung listahan na yan, I'll make it public. Binitawan ko na. So you can get to have a look at who's there and who's not. Hindi natin alam na noon pa pala, mga municipal mayors, itong si Albuera, namatay siya ni walang pakialam. Masabi ng police, lumaban. And then I will stick with the story of the police. Because the police is under me. Why would I dwell on kung niluto ko pa yung kaso, tinawagan ko na si Bit Aguirre, sabihin mo sa NBI, sundan na lang yung istorya ng... But I did not also. In fairness, sabi ko sila, but I will stick with the police. Sabi ko, totoo yan kanila. Sabi ko, sila sinasabi nila. And that is one way of protecting. Basta sumunod lang. Go out and hunt for them. Arrest them if still possible. If not, then if he presents a danger to you, puts up a violent resistance, jeopardizing your life, shoot. That has always been my order. Magtanong ka na isang pulis dito kung may sinabi ako na patayin mo yan si Dilima. O patayin mo yung sino. Never order. Kasi sinabi ko lang, remember that I declared war. I did not declare any just police punitive action. No, far from it. Sabi ko, yung sabi, paano itong namatay mo? Oh, precisely this war. Why? Look at the problem. Is it really just a police matter? It has become a national security issue. That is why I had to call in the armed forces to help. Kulang ako ng tao, kulang ako ng lahat. So that's the purpose. My purpose, dito sa buhay na ito. Kung yan ang swerte ko, pasensya. Para sabihin mo na, ousted, kudeta. So be it. Assassinate, so be it. Ihulog mo yung aeroplano kasi total commercial flight yan. Maraming insurance yan. Kasi magastos yung jet eh. Ay, nahihiya ako sa tao. Yan, tayo dito, isa lang talaga rin ko. We have a purpose really. The purpose is to serve the people. Hanggang ngayon, hindi ko talaga makuha. Ang butit nandito ka, ma'am. Just first week of December, si Maria, si Andrea rather, Pagcor, gave me a 5 billion check. Right away, sabi ko kay ma'am na, sige ma'am, i-release mo yung 1 billion sa mga tao ngayon na humahawak ng reseta ng doktor na walang mapagbili. Kung ubusin mo yan ngayon because kung may 1 billion ako next month, same ayun. Then kita mo the irony of life. Nag-release ako ng another 1 billion sa mga putang inang mga drugista na ito. Kasi the community-based treatment to rehab there, or whatever's going on there, wala silang pera pambili ng medisina. Just imagine, 1 billion which could have been used for something like feeding the hungry, na napunta sa mga ulol. Hindi ko naman, gusto kong patayin lahat, magkakaroon tayo ng iskandalo. So I had to subsidize also the Pilipino. Sabi ko, ngayon, pero kung magpatuloy itong mga to, nakita na nila, they have a good idea of how it evolved. Nakita na nila kung paano. Na ngayon, kung papasok pa sila dyan, naghahanap talaga sila ng kamatayan. Tapos itong mga human rights, do you want the killing stop immediately tomorrow? Puntahan mo yan sila. Just drop the shabu. Turn your back and walk away from the shabu industry. And tomorrow, it will be heavenly peace. Wala nang mababatay dyan. Yan lang deal ko. Itong si raportor. You know what? I was investigated by the ombudsman together with the police when I was mayor. They had no findings, but they find 1 month's salary yung mga lahat, 27 of them. All those years na mayor ako, lahat na dumaan sa Davao Chief of Police were fined. Kasi wala silang makuha except neglect of duty. Then the rapporteur, Philip Alston, of the United Nations Commission on Human Rights, went to Davao. We had a long talk. Tapos nilecturean ko rin siya na, you do not just come here to of course, I have every reason also to talk back at you. Tapos wala. Then dilemma, human rights siya. Inulit na naman niya. Wala. Secretary of Justice siya. Wala. Ngayon, ipa-imbestiga ako ng raportor. Ma'am, umalis kayo, sipain kita, putang ina mo. Kung gano'n yan, binababoy mo ako eh. I mean, they should realize that they have been at it for so long a time. Why bug me with so many investigations after investigation? Ako talagang masama. I do not care if you are Obama o si Ban Ki-moon. Isa ka pa. You just don't reprimand me in public for something as serious as a problem. You know, when you begin to tinker with it, to si Obama, nitpicking, you are trivializing the problem. 4 million slaves thrown to slavery, drugs, and you trivialize the whole thing by just asking why there are about 1,000, 2,000. Pabutin mo na ng 50 mil. I have a serious problem here. Why do you... Hindi na alam kung gaano kasama ng tama sa bayan yan. I have hold it as an article of faith that for as long as there is trouble, there is disorder in the community, nothing but nothing will follow. But look at Davao. From a waste land. Pinilit ko sarili ko. I have my own political philosophy. Ganyan dyan silang taga Davao. Pinilit ko talaga. Sabi ko, do not destroy my country because I will kill you. And do not tinker with our youth because we need them to run this country after us. And I insisted on my own. Kung kita mo Davao is hitting 9%, the highest in the country. Titignan mo ang Davao, nakakalakad ka kung gabi, pero at a price. Ngayon, sabihin ninyo, paano ko ginawa? Secret yan. Hindi mo pwede sabihin yung magmiya culpa ka dito, sir. Well, that's it. Ang ano ko lang, ma'am, is may isang nagreklamo. They were following the... Wala daw itong director. I don't know if it's regional. No? But kindly just re-echo or echo the warning. You know, ang cabinet, I just gave them 1 month. They used to handle it 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. NEDA, in particular. Meron kami yung application namin sa train, is simple train. And even just to tell me that it is not viable. Wala akong communications hanggang ngayon. It's how inept and di ko maintindihan. Kaya sa ipanahon ninyo, I gave you 1 month. Ilabas ninyo yan, whatever it is. Total, computerized naman yan. Marami naman tayong empleyado. Then, yung dito sa baba, hindi ko pa tapos, pinag-draft pa. Yung mga business permit sa local. I have every right to intervene. Supervisory. Itong mga supervision how to handle yung wala namang discretion yan. So, 3 days. Electrical connections, 3 days. Kasi dito sa sa baba, electrical permit, pagpunta mo sa bumbero, pabilihan ka ng fire extinguisher. Kung ano-ano, and it takes about forever really to do it. This has to stop. This has to stop. I will define the timeline sa kasi kawawa talaga ang tao. Naawa ako sa tao. It may be, sabihin ninyo, pretended sentiment or whatever, but the fact is talagang naawa ako sa tao. Now, I will be harsh this time kasi New Year na. Baski yung, that's why I opened the 8888. Sabihin ko, and I will tell the nation, name the public official, narrate in 3 sentences kung anong kasalanan niya, and I will take over. Wala akong paano, yung graph na yan, wala talaga akong pasensya dyan. Pera pati yung simple neglect sa tao. Walang alibyo ang tao. Year after year, administration after administration, corruption. We might be able to give them a respite sa hirap ng Pilipino. So, yan na lang muna ngayon, pending the completion of so many. But I would like to plead to you na yung huwag naman patagalan. Yung mismong 3-4 days, ako sa Davao kasi, business permit, 3 days. Kung hindi mo ma-approve or disapprove, ilabas mo. Then give me the reason why. But you should be able also on your end to give them a shopping list. And everything is submitted, and all everything is also okay, then issue the permit. It's not time to go corruption, maliliit na bagay. Kawawa eh. Magpunta yan, dagdagan mo kasi maghingi pa yan. Ako basta dyan, wala ako. Zero tolerance ako. Basta ganon. And I showed it by ginawa ko sa immigration. And they were not only close to me, they were my fraternity brothers. What I said, wala akong ano dyan. Wala tayong pinag-usapan dyan. And tayo, kasama naman, lahat tayo, dito si General Bahaya, Sir, si Maram, tagal man tayo nagsama. Ni minsan, yung dumaan ng Davao o taga Davao, ni minsan, wala akong hiningi na pabor na tagilid. Ni minsan, wala akong nilakad para sa taong. Yan lang ang ipagmayabang ko. I may not really be the ideal public official that you'd want me to be. Sabi, hindi raw statesman. Putang ang statesman. Ang kinuha ko law, there's no such degree as statesman. Wag mo ipilit mo sa akin ang gano'ng statesman. Wala ka naman ginawa sa bayan mo. Hindi na bali, hindi ako statesman. Basta patay lang lahat yung mga gagong drug lord dyan. Talagang mamamatay ka. Sigurado yan. Sabihin ko talaga, kayo mga drug lord, kayong 1 tonelada doon sa San Juan, kung nandito ako sa Maynila, at may tumawag, sir, mayroon dito, talhin kita sa likod sa apartment, barilin kita doon. Tapos sabihin ko, sino gustong sumunod? Totoo. Ganon karami, 1 toneladang shabu. Putang ina, you are ripe for the kill. Huwag mo akong tunat. Kaya nga sabi nito, classmate ko si Ruben Lopez. Ano? Nung graduate na kami, may binaril ako na tao. Tapos, hindi ako makagraduate. Class 72 ako. Hindi ako pinasali sa graduation. Kasi may binaril nga ako. Tapos na, I don't know, marami sa atin mga dumaan tayo kay Solidom. Justice Arsenio. May boses ano yun eh. Duterte. Ang last syllable mo lang ang pronoun. Kita niya ako eh. Oh, hindi nyo shoot go, God damn it. Sir, sabi ko, he slapped me, sir. That is, you're just being playful and then you shoot people. You, Duterte, you are a potential murderer. Putang ina, totoo nga. Justice Solido. Ganun magsalita yun. Diyan sa koridor. Here. Did you shoot Coco? He slapped me. You're just being playful there and then you start shooting me. You're a potential murderer. Good. Well, one of the vignettes in life that nakakatawa lang kasi parang totoo. Parang hindi. Well, I have a cabinet meeting actually. I'd like to congratulate all of you. Welcome back to the government service dito si Louie. Used to be for the longest time my vice mayor sa Davao. Dito man tayong lahat, it has start to work. Wala lang pahirapan sa tao. If you can't really attend to the nitty-gritty of the business of your offer, maybe you can just assign somebody of your confidence na let it run as efficiently as you can. I do not really demand that you be there to, maybe do the things that everybody wants you to do. Lang yung, mag-iwan ka lang ng tao na tumakbo, pati wala lang, lalo na yung, ano pa naman yung maghingi ang mag-follow up? Land registration. Land registration. Walang papel, wala lahat, wala. Postal. Pati nanay ko. And to think that I was, at that time, a fiscal and a Tanod Bayan prosecutor. So one of the two ako na Tanod Bayan special prosecutors for Mindanao. Itong mga business permit. And then sa taas. Dito sa taas, I still have faith in my cabinet members. Wala man ipupuro man ito mayaman. Si Tugade na ay nabigyan ng pera, Tugade was our valedictorian. He's a billionaire actually. Si Art? Sa law school pa kami, mayaman yan masyado. He was running the Delgado Shipping. Parang na-CEO yan, panahon. Honest yan siya. Lahat sila, totoo lang. Wala akong problema. Kaya yung sabi ng, anong mga payo binigay mo doon with the New Year, sabi ko, bakit ako magbigay sa payo mga yan? Mas bright sa akin yan. Putang, ako nga ang pinakabobo. Defense Secretary. Hindi ko alam ito, Defense Secretary. He was assigned sa Davao. So, si Pastor Kibuloy, so Davao. Sabi niya, General Lorenzana is our valedictorian sa high school kami. I don't think that he was the valedictorian sa klase niya sa PMA. Ako lang ang medyo tagilid yan. Pero, as like in the order, we go by the majority. Sa totoo lang tayo, hanggang 77, 78, okay naman yan. Wala akong ako talaga ang wala akong maipagyabang. Kaya ginadaan ko na lang sa extrajudicial killing. Wala akong credentials sa ipagyabang. Itong media, let me end by saying, coming in from Laos, it was a long haul, almost 4 hours. Pagdating namin sa Davao, ganito, impromptu, may preschool. Ang tinanong ko naman sa akin, tingnan ko talaga itong media. Media, kinikarin. Sabi nga, meron ka na bang, have you resolved the issue of not cussing in epithets and all in public? Hindi ka na magmura. Sabi ko, sa lahat ba naman ng problema ng Pilipinas? Sabi ko, So while I was flying in, I was looking out of the window, the dark, there was a brilliant, Jesus Christ appeared to me and said, you stop your cussing in public. Alam mo po, would you believe it? Naniwala itong mga... Hindi ko talaga akalain na naniwala. Tapos sinabi si Duterte medyo may sira. Ito sila yung mga husbands. Ganun daw ako, ganun, may sira ulo. Ganun, tinanong ako ni Ruchi Cruz. Sabi ko, bakit ganun ka? Anong totoo, anong hindi? Sabi ko, Ruchi, look, when I was interviewed, if it is ridiculous and far out in space yung pinagdadaldal ko, bakit kayo maniwala na gano'n? Kinausap ako ng Diyos. Kung sabihin ko tuloy talagang nangyari, it really happened, at God talked to me rather than me talking to Him, ang sira ulo ang Diyos, hindi ako. Pero bakit ako kausapin? Isa rin niya, during the last election, sabi niya, are you running? Sabi ko, no. Why? Sabi ko, I do not have the money, I do not have the machinery. Sabi na, hindi, your ratings, you are up at, with Rojas, nagpapalit ng 3-4 ko. Is that a good rating, ma'am? Sabi niya, so, mukhang by your body language and your, parang talagang tatakbo ka. Sabi ko, hindi lagi. Tatakbo ka. Sige, sabi niya, what will make you run? Sabi ko, baka Diyos. Kung babawa ang Diyos sa harap ko, wala tayong magawa. Sabi niya, ngayon, kung nandyan ang Diyos sa harap ko, sabihin mo? Sabi ko, pera mo. Eleksyon to, hindi ito. Saan ka kay Kristo? Money down, and I will run. Naniniwala sila ng ganun. Alam mo, sabi ko, pagka-estupido yung, yung, kasi sa Davao, ganun ako. Yung mga media naman, nasa na, nung pagdating ko dito, birong probinsyano na, siguro akala na, guy, this is Manila. This is international arena, ha? Pakialam mo, arena kayo dyan. Let's see, basta ako gusto ko magbiro ako. So, but today, I'm not joking. I really want you to just, nag-average tayo dito. Ang edad siguro natin dito, ako 52 na. Kaya siguro dyan nag-average tayo na mga, about 50s. This day, ito na yung pinaka-last natin. 6 years from now, I do not think that you'd be in a position to work some more. So, this is the last call para sa may magawa tayo sa kababayan natin. Just give it to them. Ako, I promise you, I said, there will be no corruption in my office. I will not, until now, I have not, baski sinong tanong, wala akong tinawagan dito na ano yung kontrata ko. Sumatupag, I discourage people yung magdadala ng negosyante sa opisina ko. You talk to God, you talk to Gina, whoever. Do not talk to me. Para wala lang ano. But last call natin ito, say, maybe on the side, marami na mamahanap buhay dyan na kunti-kunti lang. But itong trabaho, give it to the people because you have to. It's your last call to serve your nation. And because I am pleading to you, I hope that you can work together, trust each other, and I said, give it to the people this time. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your message of service.